you. Just a reminder, colleagues, if you leave and your questions comes up, that's it. It's gone. It doesn't come back. For E-Tray and the S&D, Εύα Καϊλή, please.
Thank you so much. I would like to address to Facebook this question. Is it technically possible to fully own our data, to export, delete them, to see who uses what, for how long, to grant or deny access to third parties, like device manufacturers, but still be able to use the application, so basically to have more options? And if you believe that this would be fair, and did you measure the influence of content of newsfeed, and the realization of its power led you to not manipulate the newsfeed by default or not? And finally, do you believe aggregated data should become a public good, especially for science, but also if you have any ideas or suggestions for us to avoid similar situations, that would be really appreciated, since law and like GDPR is a bit slow in order to allow innovation to happen, and it seems that for targeted advertisement we need new rules. Thank you.
Just to be clear, they don't work for the respective companies anymore. So just, I know, no, you just mentioned to Facebook. So, no, just for the record.
Thank you for the question. There was a lot there, so I'm going to try to answer those three parts. So the first aspect was about control that users have. So Facebook, due to its being subject to a number of laws, not just in the EU but in other countries as well, does provide a number of controls. However, one thing that has come up repeatedly is that in some cases those controls have not actually functioned the way that that they have portrayed them to function. So one specific instance that was reported on this morning was that as you mentioned, in the case of device manufacturers who were allowed private access to data, including friend data, the setting that did not work was a setting that users have to turn off the ability to have their data accessed through friends. So in this particular instance, when the New York Times ran a test, that setting to disable platform access did not work, and the data of those users were still passed. So that is an example of a setting not working as expected. There are other examples, and it was subject of one of the main subjects of the FTC consent decree in the United States. Your second question was about newsfeed and whether concerns about content in newsfeed, or what are concerns about content in newsfeed. I think that the main thing to remember about newsfeed is it is trying to simultaneously pick the best content that users will engage in and also help a company like Facebook or Twitter or any other newsfeed company make money. And so one of the main problems that those companies have is that they have designed news feeds to be incredibly engaging, and that leads to a number of problems. And in the interest of time, I'm going to try to very quickly answer this question about aggregated data. I think aggregated data is a massive and very difficult problem that it's hard to answer in -5 seconds. But it is something that, based on how easily data sets can be de-anonymized, it's something that's going to bear a lot. We're going to have to think a lot about it as we look forward.